Hello and welcome to the JR's Gaming Podcast, where we talk about the rise of Nintendo and what this great gaming franchise has in store for us in the future of gaming, and of course, the country from which it was born, Japan. I'm your host, Judah Terry, and I am joined by by Nintendo music producer and temporary co-host Elijah Terp. Elijah, I've just recovered from a really awful eye infection called like conjunctivitis or something. I forgot that conjunctivitis.
You, yeah.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was really bad. So as soon as my horrible fever went away, I got conjunctivitis and still got quite a bad throat. So I've not been the best, let's just say.
Hmm.
How have you been? How have you been, Elijah?
I've been better than that, definitely.
That's good. No eye infections.
Yeah. Had some like body issues, but that's not like too bad. It's just kind of stuff you
Oh
walk it
dear.
off. Yeah. But
Oh, okay.
had my first day of work today. That was interesting. First day at my new job. It's quite a fast-paced environment, but I kind of like it. I'm getting the
That's
hang of it.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I was a bit confused though because I forgot that Elijah had his like job thing today, right? So for the podcast, I was like, I thought it'd be all ready by like 1 o'clock. So I was like, got all set up, and I was like, right, let me just message Elijah, and he's like, and I was like, I got no response, no message, no, and I tried calling him. I was like, oh no, is he died? Like, is he okay? I got really concerned. But yeah, it turns out he's at his job. So I'm like,
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot to like specifically mention it to you and say like,
oh no, it's
dude,
fine.
I'm
It's
out
fine.
and from this time to this time because it wasn't out for long, but it was just the time that I was out was the time that you were trying to call me. So that's it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just glad you're all right. I was really relieved to see that it was okay.
Yeah, we're on a
Yeah.
tight schedule today because I was at work. I've just got home and I've
Yeah.
immediately I've downed 3 glasses of water and I'm just sitting here ready to go. And then
Yeah.
you've got a thing going on later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, Elijah. Thank you for the effort. But it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's very very tight schedule today. I mean, literally in about an hour and 10 minutes, I've got to shoot off. As soon as I finish recording this episode, I'm shooting off to a Coronation Street party.
Mm.
I'm going again with the co-host Rowan Fern. He's not on at the moment, but yeah, I'm going to go with him and some of the friends to a British street party in a village, quite not too far from me. And
Nice,
I've
nice.
got a message from Rowan saying it's tipping it down where we are right now.
It's really raining all day. Yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh dear, like because right now where I am right now, where I'm speaking right now, it's not raining, but apparently where the location of the street party is where Rowan lives, and he's
Mm.
like, oh, it's tipping it down. Are you sure it's still going to go on? I checked the party and stuff, and it's still going on. So I'm like, maybe we're going to put tarps up and stuff because it is like a street party.
Mm.
So, I mean, for those of you who are just probably not aware, the coronation is literally happening. Well, this when this episode airs, it will. I think it is the day.
It will have happened. Yeah.
It
When
would
this
have
comes out,
happened.
yeah.
Yeah, because this is airing on Saturday. We're recording this on Friday. The coronation is basically where the king is made the king officially. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah. That's
Yes.
pretty much the best summary you can give it. It's like the king becomes king.
The
Like,
king becomes king. Yes, indeed. I
King
mean,
Charles. Yeah.
you're doing something quite interesting, aren't you? I've heard you're going all the way into London to see it. Are you?
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to multiple different coronation things.
Mm.
I don't really know what I'm doing. My mum likes to be like, "Oh, it's a surprise." So I guess I'm gonna
Ah.
be surprised tomorrow.
Oh, here's the thing. I
Yeah.
know what you're doing
Oh, you
because
do?
your mum told my mum, and
Of course, right.
I'm not going to tell you because it's a surprise.
No,
But
tell me more. Tell me, please.
oh, it's a surprise, Elijah. I can't break your mum's promise.
Oh,
But you have to find out. You have to find out. But yeah, unfortunately,
should be
I'm
fun.
not gonna. I'm not going to be in London for this coronation. I'm just going to watch it. I'm not. Here's the thing, right? With the whole royal family, it's like always something very important to all Brits. Like we're British people. I think the royal family is very important. Like I
Mm.
think, but I kind of lost my interest as soon as like the Queen passed away. Like I am still interested. Don't get me wrong in the royal family and everything, like to an extent. But it's like I'm not overly excited about
Yeah. I feel like
him. Like it's just the
yeah.
king. It's just like the queen was like she reigned so long, and she was like a really she was really significant. That's the only reason why I really tuned into the royal family was the queen.
Yeah, I get what you
And
mean.
yeah, and like it was almost like a tradition. Like you would turn the queen on at Christmas. You
Yeah.
would watch the Queen's speech. and now she's sadly, passed away. She's very old, bless her. But yeah, it's like now the king is it's like yeah, okay, it's good. We've now got the king, but at the end of the day, the king and the royal family in the UK have not got much power as they used to years ago. They don't have really any power at all. Really, they have some influence, but it's not like really that important. It seems to me more of like a tourist attraction, but it's just
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm not exactly excited as about the whole king thing, but it's still interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you make some good points there. I feel like same for me in the sense that, the Queen, lovely person, and
Mm.
growing up seeing the Queen everywhere, and it's very like it's nice. She's like your second grandma or something, and
Yeah,
you feel
yeah,
like a weird connection, and and
exactly.
you're proud to be British, and you're proud to have the Queen as your Queen. But once she
Mm,
passed away, it kind of started to feel like, okay, the royal family still exists, but do I really care about it anymore? Because I was
mm.
never one of the. I feel like a lot of Americans were more invested in like the princes and princesses than we were. Like,
I think so. Yeah.
because for me, I have no interest in any of those people really. I haven't really
No,
seen them do
same,
anything
same.
other than just walk around
Oh,
and
it's
open
just
stuff.
it's just it's just bollocks, isn't it? Like
Yeah, I feel like
Harry's
it's
been
it's
kicked
very
out of the
mixed.
family, and it's like, has other got
Oh
was
yeah,
it?
Harry.
Yeah.
Don't even get
Oh
me
dear,
started on that.
Andrew, paedophile. Oh, what is going on with
Quite a
that?
few bad names there, but yeah,
Yeah.
overall, I mean, the royal family is still lovely, and
Mm.
I don't dislike the royal family. I'm not anti
Yeah,
monarchs
yeah.
or anything
But
like that.
despite me saying that, don't get me wrong. That they're a good family. Like, they're interesting. I'm not
Yeah,
saying they're
yeah, yeah,
bad.
and they do a lot
Yeah,
of good things. Yeah, they do so many good things for the country that
they
people just
do. They
don't
do.
realize a lot of the time. Half the
Mm.
time people just think, oh, they just sit there and maybe be a tourist attraction, whatever. But they
Mm.
do so much more than you realize. They have to
They
put
do.
up with our crappy government day in and day out. Okay, so
Mm.
they're doing the worst work in the
The
world.
government's a lot more corrupt than the royal family. I can't lie.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah.
yeah, but I think you do make like good points with the, starting to feel a bit disconnected from the royal family, not really
Mm.
interested. It's like I'm happy
Mm.
that they're there, and like it'll be
Mm.
fun to go and watch the coronation things like that. But I'm not
Mm.
super invested. I'm not going to glorify the monarchy and be like, oh, these people are
Yeah.
the best in the world. I love them so much. I'll devote everything to them. I'm a British person. I have to do that. It's kind of just I know they're there. I appreciate them being there, and I'm just going
Mm.
to go on with my life. Really.
Exactly. That is basically, you've just summed up the the entire of
Yeah.
exactly how I feel about the whole thing. It's just yeah. I mean, it's like I acknowledge them. They're good. Like, I personally, there's many people that don't want the royal family. I think they should stay because the royal family are like, it's almost like a significant thing to the UK, the Britain.
Of course,
The
a
royal
tradition.
family,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
history, it's tradition.
yeah.
So I really did disagree with people who are saying kick out the royal family. No, keep the tradition going.
Yeah,
It's
but so
good. It's
also,
fun.
the moment we lose the royal family, we're going to have a president or something. We don't want a
Mm.
president
Oh,
now.
we don't
We
want
don't want that.
presidents.
No.
No, no,
You
I
really
do.
want like President Sunak? No, no one wants President Sunak.
President Sunak.
Okay, no one wants
No one
that.
wants that. No one wants that. No, God
We
forbid.
will be screwed if that ever happens.
We'll all be
So
screwed, especially as
yeah,
students.
I don't
We shall
understand
do
people.
maths.
I don't understand people who are like super against the monarchy. I feel like they've never done
I
anything
don't
bad
know.
to you.
Yeah.
Like they've only really done good things to the general public. Like
Mm,
realistically, ignoring like Prince Andrew,
mm,
ignoring him, they've all been fine. Even Harry being like a bad person, he hasn't actually done anything bad for the public.
mm.
Like
Yeah, I do
really.
understand. I do understand some of the people that would be a bit annoyed at the royal family. Yeah, I do agree. Like, there's been issues, right, within the royal family. For
Mm.
instance, Harry and Andrew. There are issues that kind of, I'm like, oh, no, they've messed up there. It's kind of making us a bit bad, but that doesn't make the rest of the royal family bad, does it?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I can understand why people get upset with that. But then when I see people mocking just the entire family, saying they're all kind of, I don't know, they all should be banished, and even people like making light of the Queen and stuff. I feel like those sort of people have probably got other issues as well that are, or flaws, like racism as well. Like, it's just not, they've not got balanced arguments to
I think
kind of.
because a lot of people glorify the royal family, they're
Mm,
disconnected from them. And then they feel
mm,
like, oh, I can poke fun at these people, or I can, say these horrible things and be horrible to them, because
yeah,
you don't see them as a person anymore. Like the amount of people who
yeah,
made memes of the Queen's death, and it was so upsetting because she was a lovely
mm,
person and she's a human being. You don't
exactly.
make.
Like, imagine, I mean, you made this point, I think, a couple episodes
Yeah,
ago.
probably.
Imagine, imagine that was that, and she was a grandma. Imagine your grandma though. I mean, it's
Yeah,
passed away, and then everyone's like making memes about it. That would make me so angry and
yeah, it
upset.
is like very, very upsetting, all that kind of stuff. And even now, like people making fun of Charles and
Mm,
things like that. It's like they don't even know half the story anyway. But I think it's mainly because they like make them seem less like a human in their eyes. Like, I don't know, something just changes for them. They think, oh, this is just some fancy person up on a pedestal. They're not really, they don't
It's
understand
not good.
anything, but they do. They know things.
They do. They do.
Yeah,
They do. So
they're still a human being. Like,
So exactly. So in the UK, we're all doing this tradition. Like a lot of people are going. I think it's good. A lot of people are still going to go to the coronation. It's still going to be a big thing. And apparently, it's going to be really packed. And I hope there's not like a crush because
yeah, I hope so.
because
I
I
think
hope there's not a crush because
with the amount of police on deck, I don't think they'd allow it to happen for
I
like.
think it should be fine
There's
because
good security there. Yeah.
it always kind of woke my eyes up. Woke my eyes up. Let's make sense. Opened my eyes up to like the dangers of really massive crowd situations ever since the Itaewon tragedy.
Yeah.
That really shook me up when I heard about it because I've got friends in South Korea.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to bring up really miserable things at the beginning of the podcast, but I'm
Yeah,
just
of course.
saying,
Yeah, just
I think one very important point is with that whole tragedy, there was no police from the start. Really, it was lack of police.
yeah.
And I was reading, I was actually listening to some podcasts by a YouTuber called Rotten Mango, and she's she's Korean herself, I think, and she was talking about how the what happened after the tragedy, like the months leading after that, the investigations that were held, and the amount of people that I think were charged because there was no police that were called or anything. The police office was charged because the police didn't come to the scene; they ignored it.
Yeah.
So the very fact that you said, the police officers there, I think we should be fine. We should be fine.
Yeah,
But
realistically, because like this has happened. We've done coronations before. We've done parades before. We've done it all before. So they know
oh
the
yeah,
drill. They know how it works. So
exactly.
like
So
they're
keep
prepared.
safe. That's what I'm saying. So if you're from the UK and you're
If you're,
going to see
yeah,
the coronation,
if you're going there in person, be careful.
yeah, so just be careful because it's London. It's really packed, and I think it was. I mean, the Queen's Jubilee also last year was
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely stunningly packed as
And
well.
even
So
the Queen's funeral, the streets were packed up.
oh, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. So it was a lot. So, but yeah, but that's yeah, we've got a very royal start to the podcast. So yeah, everyone from the UK, if you're going and doing any celebrations, as I am, literally very soon, as is Elijah, stay safe and have fun,
Yeah.
and we hope you enjoy it. Now, on to a big announcement, which I think we slightly announced on our previous episode, but this is a official announcement to say that me and Elijah are now going to be hosting a brand new and exclusive series, the Nintendo Music Wars. Aren't we, Elijah?
Yes, we are.
We are. It's really fun. So basically, the Nintendo Music Wars is it's going to be exclusive. It's not going to be a segment on the podcast. I decided that we would do a separate small episode, about 20 minutes long, and it'll be a series. So the series Nintendo Music Wars will be releasing on Sunday, and that's along with the Nintendo, along with the podcast videos. So check that out. It's going to be a really good series, Elijah. We have a lot lined up for that, and yeah, exciting stuff for the
I
Nintendo
think
Music Wars.
it'll be very, very exciting little episodes, little show kind of thing.
It
But
is.
basically we're just going to debate Nintendo music, and
Yeah.
you'll get to listen to some of it, and you'll get to listen to our arguments, and you get to vote. That's the most important thing, really. Is the series won't really.
It won't work
If we have,
without you guys.
yeah, exactly. If we do like a few episodes and no one's voting, we're just not going to do it. So
Yeah. We're
make sure
stuffed.
if you are going to listen in, make sure to vote. Or even if you don't want to listen to our arguments and you already know the soundtrack and you're like, oh, I already know this one. I know this one's good. Just vote for it then. Takes all of a
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
That's why I think it's very important we put out there for the Nintendo Music Wars, even in our advert that we'll be releasing along with it at the beginning of each episode for it. Is you guys make it possible. So please support it, guys. We really do appreciate if you can, because it's the first sort of mini series that I've done. So I think same with Elijah, which kind of involves the audience a lot more. So I think it's our first sort of mini project. And hopefully it'll work really well because we have a fair amount of listeners and viewers. So please do, even the smallest vote, sending into the email, commenting, just do it in any way you can. Get in touch with us and give us your vote of the Nintendo Music, the one that you prefer. But yeah, more information on that on the actual first release episode, which will be releasing tomorrow on Sunday. But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm really excited for episode 1. Because it's really exciting. I already know what music we're going to be debating, so I'm going to choose a game soundtrack, and so is Elijah. And we're both going to debate why we think our one will win. But you guys decide which one will win. So you're going to see. And the person with the most points, the most votes, will get 1 point. And then, the person with the most votes at the end of the week will get 1 point. And then at the end of the series, the person with the most points will win the entire battle. And that'll be me, won't it? We'll see.
You wish. So, also to note, don't forget, because people like we're doing it weekly. So if you vote after that week is done, your vote won't really count towards it because we would have already tallied the votes.
Yes.
So,
yes.
And also places where you can vote, Judah, you want to tell them that.
Yes, so we'll be posting out polls on the community posts tab. So here's the thing, Elijah, I'm guessing you're going to put your polls on your community posts.
I will. I'm not going to tell anyone about it though. I'm going to be very anonymous. I'm just going to post like which game OST is better, and then just put the two games, and then not related to the podcast at all, to see just what people think.
But yeah, same here. But I'm doing it on also the Jazz Gaming podcast. So look out if you're watching on YouTube. Check out the community tab on our channel page, and also go over to, if you're Elijah's viewer or listener here, go over to his channel and check out his community tab page. Now here's the thing, not everyone's going to find that, so there are going to be several things going on here. So Spotify listeners, let's address you now. There's going to be a poll going out for Spotify listeners as well. So there's a poll option on each episode for Spotify. So if you're listening on Spotify, you can simply go to the description and take part in the poll. Click on the click on the music that you enjoy. For people who are also watching on YouTube, if you don't want to take part in the polls or you're unable to in any way, do comment below on the YouTube video. Please comment below. On the video that we release on the Nintendo Music Wars. It'll be very clear. It'll be episode 1, and there'll be a thumbnail. So please comment down below on YouTube, and then of course, if you're unable to do any, and then of course Instagram and Discord. If you're part of that, please get involved. They'll be also being released on Instagram and Discord, so please get involved in the polls that I'll be releasing on there. So of course, I'm basically just getting polls out every single where I can, even Twitter if I can. So everyone can have their say if they can. If they're unable to, and here's the thing: if you're unable to, it's no problem. You can write into the JR's Gaming podcast email, which is jrsgaming135@gmail.com. It's really simple. Just write in your vote, and that will go towards all the rest of the votes. And you only have till next Saturday after each episode, so better keep on top of it. Otherwise, Saturday's the deadline, because that's when we record our next episode. So yeah, quite a fun thing there. But here's the thing. Here's a really annoying thing, Elijah. I can't post on my community tab.
Why not?
Because YouTube thinks I'm a robot. Quite literally.
Oh, have you not unlocked the community tab yet?
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid.
You haven't unlocked polls, have you?
Yeah, well, it's both. I can't do community tabs, meaning I can't do polls.
Oh, on your personal channel, you mean?
Yeah, my personal channel.
Right, yeah, because you unlocked it on the JR's Gaming, didn't you? Yeah. Okay,
I did. Yeah. I don't know why, because it was just there from the start.
Yeah, it's weird. YouTube is weird. I think they change their policies so often that you might start off with something and they change it and just take it away.
So, here's the thing.
Because I think now you need 100 subs to be able to use the community tab or something like that.
They did. The thing is, though, they said I can have it as long as I verify myself.
Okay.
To make sure I'm not a robot, right? Yeah. So I did that. So I sent through my ID. It said it'd take about 1 second or something. That was the estimated time. It was rubbish. And they took them a week to get back to me, and they didn't even get back to me. So I was like, well, I guess this is it. I better try the second option, which was grow your channel, basically, and just keep uploading videos. So I've got to do that and wait 2 months, and then eventually they'll just realise that I'm not a robot and give me my community tab. So it's not even like the subscribers, it's just the verification. It's so stupid. Like, the YouTube system is so messed up. The very fact I can post on JR's Gaming, I can't do it on my own YouTube channel.
Yeah, because all that does, it just limits new creators. Like, you're taking things away from them because they haven't hit a milestone yet. But it's like, what's the point in that? Like,
it just makes no sense. Like, I've literally just...
It's not a motivator or anything like that. It's just annoying.
Exactly. It's really annoying because I can't post updates to my subscribers. And if you don't know about my personal channel, it's Jude the Dude, and I will be uploading. I've just recorded it today, a exclusive video announcing the Nintendo Music Wars. So that's going to be quite fun. I guess to let my viewers know, because I think I've got quite a few viewers that just came and subscribed out of the blue that don't even know the podcast, and they can also listen to the podcast as well. So
Yeah.
exciting stuff, exciting stuff. So
We're still on the talk about. We have running out of time. To summarize, basically for the voting, you've got YouTube comments, you've got YouTube community tab on my channel and on the JL's Gaming channel, and hopefully eventually Judah's channel. You've got Spotify, the polls on Spotify. You've got the email, and then there's Instagram,
the comment
and Discord.
section.
Yeah, and comment everything basically.
Basically everything.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
you've got no excuse, everyone. Get involved. You have to get involved. You have to get involved. And I mean, the very fact I'm doing an exclusive episode to release it narrows it right down. So you literally listen to it like it's each episode is about 20 minutes. It's going to be simple.
Yeah.
But we spent about 20 minutes doing the talk about. Let's get on with the episode. Let's get the listeners what they want to hear. All right, Nintendo stuff. Right. News of the week. Thought you might be quite interested in this, Elijah, being a music guy. Famed Nintendo music composer Ryo Nagamatsu announces he's left the company. Nintendo composer Ryo Nagamatsu has announced on Twitter that he now left the Kyoto-based company Nintendo in search of new adventures. Mr. Nagamatsu has composed songs for Super Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, and much more. In a brief statement on the social network, he said he intends to work a little wider and more directly to help those who need my help and to help the industry. It'll be interesting to see what his next projects will be. Mr. Nagamatsu originally joined the company in April 2006, and he said here on Twitter, "I've made a decision to leave the company as of April 30th, 2023, which has already gone by. I'll work a little wider and more directly to help those who need my help and to help the industry. Thank you all for your kind support. I look forward to serve you in the future." So, quite an interesting little thing here. It was in April 2006. He's been literally quite a key composer. Not too much to say on it either, but he's been quite a key composer. He's quite famous there for making music in Mario Kart 8, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and he's just suddenly left the company. To broaden his experiences. What do you think about this?
Good for him. I
Good for
think
him. Yeah.
Good for him, because
Yeah.
obviously a lot of people who know him, knows music, will be upset to hear that he's like whatever
that's
next
the
Mario
thing.
Kart game won't have his music in it, or he's worked on Splatoon as well, and those are really, really popular soundtracks.
Yes.
But because he's not retiring, he's not been fired, he's not left with bad intentions. He's left to actually help other people in the industry and to work on his own little projects and to do his own things, which I think is a lovely thing to do. I think it's a good idea.
I think it's really inspiring. I'm just really happy that he's not kind of had the pressure to stay in the company just because he's in the company.
Yeah,
I think it's really good that he's. I mean, it's not good, I guess, that he's left. It's a bit upsetting. But like, it's not a bad thing. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, the very fact he says he wants to help other people and do wider projects, it just shows that he's very brave and he's what's the word? He's very. I can't think of the word when someone wants to go and do more things. But yeah, basically, he wants to widen his future and do more music with other things. So I think that's really inspiring for most people, because I feel like most people can be quite, I don't know, tied down to work under a company for certain reasons. And I mean, I don't know why, Elijah, but I found it really hard to resign from my job. I always thought it'd be easy to go up to someone and say, "Here's my resign paper," bang. But it's not. It's really not easy. I used to work at a cattery, and to say that I wanted to stop working there was really quite like scary. I didn't really want to. I didn't want to do it, and I won't disclose the reasons why I left. But it was just like I wanted to, leave for certain reasons. I need to move on, and it is quite hard. And if I was working for Nintendo, and I want to leave, I think it's quite. Yes, it's not an easy thing to do. The very fact that he's had so much part in these big games like Super Mario Galaxy 2, Mario Kart 8, Splatoon 2 and 3. These are big parts. These are big roles to have in Nintendo to be part of this music. And I think it's really inspiring that he said he's left, but he's made a decision to leave the company. He's not said why, which is quite interesting.
I guess he's just Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he didn't really say why he left, but it
Mm.
could be that, working for a company, keeps you very, very busy. It could mean that he, because he wants to work on
Mm.
his project and help people specifically within the industry, it could just mean
Mm.
that, Nintendo were kind of limiting him a bit with what he could do, how much he could do, because, you only have so much
Yeah.
time that you can work. So if he was quite busy, then makes sense.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I've always noticed Nintendo workers can't. They're quite limited in what they can say.
Mm.
It's quite a secretive sort of thing. I don't know if I get this right or not, but basically, I actually know someone who used to work for Nintendo. He used to be part of like the working team for graphic design and games, and he can't say anything like he used to. But he can't say anything to me. I can't say it to him. Oh, so how was this done? How was that done? He can't say it or something. He's signed a
Yeah, yeah.
contract,
That's,
which is
I
quite
mean,
yeah.
a lot of companies will make you sign a non-disclosure agreement when you
Mm,
join to stop people from leaking things or whatever. But
mm,
yeah, a lot of those unfortunately span even after you've left the company
yeah. So
for a certain amount of years, and then
yeah.
yeah,
It's a bit of a shame because a lot of us want to know what goes on and stuff. Being a massive fan, but Nintendo's always been their own done their own sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, I guess this is good and sad news at the same time. I'm happy that for him, for going and it's just bravely, leaving a big company could be a bit hard. But I'm guessing I'm happy that he's doing it. He's broadening his
horizons,
horizons.
yeah.
That's it. He's broadening his horizons, and I'm really excited to see what he does next because he's had such big parts in those Nintendo games.
Mm,
Maybe what's he going to do next? Will he join up with Sony and do different things with them, or who
mm,
knows? It's going to
yeah,
be really interesting. So, and for those who are fans of him, because he's very famous apparently in certain circles, keep following him. Be inspired by this man. Go on. But
yeah.
so
It's
yeah,
like Sakurai, the creator of Smash Bros.
Sakurai. Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
so
do.
he's been looking. I don't know if he actually has retired. He's been looking to retire for a long time because he's a
Mm.
workaholic and he's never given himself a break. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
he when he finished Ultimate and all the DLC and everything, he started a YouTube channel and a YouTube little project thing where he would teach people how to do coding and things like that and game creation. And I think
Mm.
that was actually very, very nice of him. That is him, in his spare time for free, helping out the internet and the
Mm.
industry. And I'm thinking, well, maybe Rio will do the same thing.
I find
He
it. Yeah. Sorry, Carol.
hopefully, I mean, hopefully he could. I don't know. I feel like it's probably unlikely, but maybe he could,
Mm.
make some little project that some people can find, and where
Mm.
he talks about how to compose music for games or just compose music in general. That could be quite interesting if that happens.
Yeah, I mean, he said he wanted to help others in the industry, so that does indicate, helping other people.
Mm. It could
Um,
mean on a personal level. It could mean just he knows people and he wants to focus on helping them.
yeah,
But if he means his fans, then that's obviously good news for us. Yeah, so
yeah, but
yeah.
good news for us. Yeah, here's the thing. I always find it very humbling. Because when someone of high status, in a company has a lot of, they've got a lot of talents. They do a lot of things. They have a lot of jobs, and they're well known and recognised. I find it humbling and really quite nice and telling of the person's character when they actually step down and help their fans.
Mm,
It's just like, oh, he wants to help other people, or like Sakurai, which talked about helping other people with coding. It's just really wholesome, and it's quite nice to see that
yeah.
these people are much bigger and larger in their status and how hard they've worked to get there, and they're not like keeping it to themselves and being proud about it. They're actually helping other people, and I find that really, really quite nice.
Yeah, they're spreading their passion in a positive way, which is always good to
Mm,
see.
always good to see. So a wholesome start to our stories for this week. I didn't choose like a massive, big game changing story we're going to talk about for like quite about 10, 20 minutes. I chose a couple of small little announcement type stories. So that's our first little one.
Mm.
So a wholesome little story there. And then second of all, up on the Nintendo news front, we have quite an interesting bit of drama going on. Now, are you
Reggie,
aware?
we love Reggie.
We love Reggie. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, are you aware of the whole Nintendo Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, the leakages and stuff that's been going around? I definitely
Yeah,
caught wind of it. It's
yeah.
not
I
good.
don't I don't even follow Zelda, and I've been seeing it on my
Yeah,
For
on
page and
YouTube.
things like that. Yeah,
It's
YouTube, Twitter, everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, even there are even memes made of it. Like I got
Mm.
Rick rolled the other day. Just some YouTuber was like, "Hey, I got the new Zelda game before it was released," and everyone was like, "Yes!" And like, he got like the case for it, and then he put it in his Nintendo, and I was like, "Oh," he's like, "You gotta check this out, guys." And it was like, I was like, oh bloody hell! Why is it?
Uh,
Why is it Rick Roll? But at least I'm glad it was. I'm
mm,
glad it was. It wasn't. It wasn't the actual. Unfortunately, a lot of people have been getting just illegitimate means, like illegally getting the game.
yeah.
It's just
It's a,
really
it's a
nasty.
shame, obviously, because the people who worked on the game, they're
Mm,
going to be really upset. Like, oh, you couldn't just wait like a couple more months, really? Like,
mm.
but that's every game now has leaks before it comes out.
It's
That's just
just.
yeah, how it is. Yeah.
I mean, I completely disagree with Nintendo. It's striking all these YouTubes and stuff. But there is an ounce of me that kind of understands a tiny bit why they can be a bit protective of their games and copyright, because the very fact that I think the very fact people are like getting their games leaked so much,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
can understand a bit of their anger towards
You
that.
can understand their motive, but their methods are
Mm.
still poor.
Yeah,
So
their methods are poor, definitely. There's no doubting that, but I can understand their motive. But anyway, let's read the. How's Reggie got involved from Nintendo with this whole shenanigans? Right, so former Nintendo of America boss Reggie Fils-Aimé has seen those Zelda Tears of the Kingdom leaks, and the people boasting about it have acquired the game early, and he is not happy about it. In fact, the whole situation has made him embrace his inner Liam Neeson. In response to one Twitter user sharing on an image of their Switch home screen, which had Zelda Tears of the Kingdom lined up and ready to play, presumably obtained by illegitimate means, but I can't say for sure. Nintendo of America. The Nintendo of America alum decided to flex his muscle by quoting from the Neeson fronted action film Taken. He said, "I don't know what you want. What I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that have made me a nightmare for people like you." Amy wrote. Nintendo is known for its hard stance on piracy and emulation, so I'm sure delighted to see its former executive doing his bit to keep the internet free of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom leaks, which have hit the internet. So yeah, basically, I just like how Reggie's not. Yeah, the person definitely deserves to, I don't know, get even fined for that sort of stuff. It's bad. But I just like how he's kind of told them off and showed them
but in a jokey way.
in a jokey
Yeah, yeah.
way by
That's why we
quoting
love Reggie,
Neeson.
because he's a serious businessman, but at the same time he's for the people. He's a
Mm,
people's person. He understands memes and things like that, and he's just a joker.
yeah.
He's a nice guy. Yeah.
I like how he said that. She's like, I don't know what you want. What I do have a very particular set of skills. Skills I have acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. It's just like,
Yeah.
of
Good
course,
quote.
like it's a great quote for this situation, because number one, what they're doing is out of order. Getting these brand new games just pirated somehow.
Mm.
And I just like how Reggie's kind of silencing it all with his deadly voice. Yeah, and
Yeah.
but he's going around it in a jokey way, and it's kind of very
Yeah, of
revealing of his
course. Yeah.
character. Like it's almost like when your dad, if you like, your dad like tells you off. He's like, you naughty boy, you shouldn't be doing that. But it's jokey. He's not like shouting at you, and it just
Mm.
comes across. It comes across as that sort of persona.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not.
Because obviously he's not happy about it, but
Mm,
he's not this kind of serious person to actually like
yeah.
you know be very unhappy at someone. I mean, obviously that Twitter user was probably
Mm,
like scared that Reggie
mm.
actually commented on like tweet. So hopefully
Yeah,
they would have
making a nightmare.
waited
Yeah,
to play the game rather than doing anything else like
yeah.
that. But yeah,
It's just Well, the point I'm trying to get across as well is like I 100% agree what they're doing is bad, but then again, I like how Reggie's just not. He's not been like. He's not been like Nintendo themselves and like smashed them in the face and fined them £10 million for the rest of their lives. He's just been like said a jokey little line. And it's
yeah,
just
it's kind
like
of like a little finger wag, like no, you don't get to do that.
yeah,
Like no,
exactly.
you know,
You know.
just a friendly little reminder that
Hmm.
Reggie is always watching.
A friendly little reminder that Reggie's a legend, because he is. So yeah, so another wholesome kind of slash annoying thing going on, I guess. But
Mm, yeah.
it's nice that I just find it really quite nice that Reggie said that. Good on Reggie. Good on Reggie for getting involved in a in a way like a buddy sort of way. You should be doing that, mate. In that sort of way.
Mm.
So. And hopefully, here's the thing, because he's mentioned, it's like a buddy sort of thing, almost like when your favorite teacher tells you off. It's like You know,
Yeah.
they're a Nintendo. They're a Nintendo fan, and they're like, "Oh, I'm getting told off by Reggie himself." You know, hopefully they feel bad about it because they've not been shouted at; they've just been, you know. So yeah, when your favorite teacher tells you off, sort of vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, great, good stuff on Reggie. Yeah, so last week we spoke about the Super Mario movie reaching over $900 million, making over 9, and it's just like it's overtook Toy Story 4. It's overtook like a lot of big movies already. We, because it had just been released in South Korea and Japan, we decided that on the next episode we would see if it had surpassed the $1 billion mark. You know, remember?
Yeah.
So guess what? It has. It has. Mario movie indeed has. I knew this would happen. It's crossed the $1 billion mark at the global box office.
Congratulations, Mario
Congra-
movie.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Nintendo. Congratulations, Illuminations off whoever it is, Illuminations Pictures.
Yeah.
So yeah, Super Mario Bros. Movie surpassed 1 billion in estimated global box office receipts on Sunday, the first movie to do so in 2023, according to the research film ComScore. So that's kind of like a world record there, like not world record, a year record. They've been the first movie in 2023 to reach $1 billion.
And they did it really, really quickly as well. So
because it's been happening so quickly, that's going to be a hard record to beat for other movies, isn't it?
And it's still going up as well.
And it's still going up when it reached 2 billion. I don't know, maybe, who knows? 2 billion.
I reckon they'll probably reach 1.5 by the end of it.
Yeah.
But they're making a lot of money. Yeah.
They're making a lot of money. Maybe 2 billion is a stretch, but who knows? Yeah, probably 1.5. You know, it's gonna eventually reach a halt at some point, but it's just amazing. yeah, it's reached the $1 billion, and that's all gone towards Nintendo. And
that's all in box office as well. So that's only people like going to the actual cinemas to watch it. Like when this thing comes out on the streaming services, you know, more people are gonna, or like DVD, whatever, more people are gonna pay to watch it. So it's again even more money.
Like Netflix and stuff. Like people pay that as well. So yeah, don't illegally stream it, guys. I know some. That's annoying. That is the really thing that just gets people me annoyed. People are watching it for free. Because then you're not adding to this $1 billion mark. You want to get it higher than this. So come on, watch the movie. It's really good. Definitely worth it. So, yeah, it's $1 billion for the Super Mario movie. So yeah, so this is quite a short episode, but I managed to fit in one question before we finish it off. And we've got one question here. It's funny because it feels much shorter than it is because we haven't got the music segment because we're doing the Nintendo Music Wars. It feels a lot shorter.
There wasn't like a ton of like massive news this week. I guess it's more like little bit of news. Yeah.
So I just kind of piled little bits of news together. But yeah. So yeah, guys, don't worry. It's a bit of a shorter episode from usual, but go and check out the Nintendo Music Wars, which will be releasing tomorrow, which is definitely something to look forward to. So yeah, so this week we have a question from Gareth. Gareth, I don't know what, when I hear the name Gareth, I just love that name.
I've always liked the name Gareth. It's just a nice name. Yeah,
it's just a nice name. So Gareth, well done for having the name Gareth. Every time I feel that say the name Gareth, I feel good. So I don't know why. It's just So when I have a son, I'm going to call him Gareth. I've decided now on the spot. So Gareth. Anyway, sorry Gareth. Gareth, I just keep saying your name. Great name. Gareth has written in Judah and Elijah. Love your content and episodes. My name is Gareth, and I binge listen to a number of gaming podcasts. This podcast has got to be in my top 5. Oh wow!
Nice.
Thank you. Love seeing how it's grown since you started it. My question is, if you could get any bigger influencer / celebrity on the podcast, who would it be and why? All the best, Gareth from Essex, UK. Get in, Essex.
Nice.
I'm not from Essex, but it's the UK, and it's not too far from London.
It neighbours London.
It neighbours London. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
bigger
good.
influencer.
Oh,
am I not big enough? Okay.
I'm
not kidding.
Well, like you don't realise this, Gareth. Elijah's he's been on TV. He's millions of subscribers. No, not yet. But yeah, he's.
I used to sing at the O2 Arena. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you used to sing at the O2.
I've been in the newspaper before. I've seen a squirrel yesterday as well. You know? I've done many things.
You seen a squirrel? That is amazing.
Very accomplished person.
And he's he's the co-host to the Nintendo Music Wars.
Of course, my biggest accomplishment is being co-host to the JOS Gaming Podcast.
Exactly.
And now Nintendo Music Wars. Yes.
He's made it in life. So what are you saying, Gareth? I don't understand. Yeah, I have already made it in life. I've got Elijah on the podcast. So yeah, all jokes aside, I think that's a good question. I don't know.
Who would you want to bring on? Because you'd want them to be able to talk about Nintendo stuff. Realistically.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? If it was just anything, I definitely would have a few options. If I could have any celebrity onto the podcast, it's a big question because as you said, we're a Nintendo gaming podcast, and there's a lot of people out there I just want to talk to in general, but I kind of need to keep to the sort of the content that we do. It is a big one. I feel like this is a very generic answer. The first answer, but I'm gonna give you three people. Right? Is that all right, Gareth? I'm gonna give you three. I think it's fair if I give him three big people. I think YouTubers and people I want to have on the podcast. Right? It could be anything. Right? He said so. It could be any big influencer or celebrity. So that really does make my options wide. So first of all, this could be a problem though. I want to get Miyamoto. Shigeru Miyamoto on the podcast. Works for Nintendo. I'm going to pick carefully here. But the only problem with that is I'm actually learning Japanese. I would need to improve my Japanese skills at least 10 times over.
Well, this is a hypothetical, so we could say either he has a translator or something, or you just know Japanese all of a sudden.
Yeah, imagine. With subtitles. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, we made it happen. Let's say we made it happen. Yes, 100%. Miyamoto. He's one of my small little heroes. He's had such a. He helped Tezuka Takeshi with Super Mario, making the games, and he's been a massive part of Nintendo for decades. And it's like, well, yeah, definitely have him on the podcast. Number two, Mr. Beast. Now, that is a very generic answer, right? It's just Mr. Beast. He's everyone's favorite YouTuber, but I bet he has a lot of stories to tell. A lot of stories about hate comments, what he has to deal with every single day. I really want to get his how he started it. I've got a lot of questions. To Mr.
You
Beast.
Just want to get those YouTube views by putting him in the title.
There is also that. Yeah, no, honestly, I genuinely have so much to say to Mr. Beast. Like, I'm really, it's just so many questions for him. Like a YouTuber of that caliber, of that, of that status, of that money. I've got so much questions for him. So I probably would get him on, just to see, the life of a big YouTuber.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know, but yeah. So, and third, this is my personal favorite. I want to get Chris Broad from Abroad in Japan on the podcast. Now, I don't think he's not really a big Nintendo fan. I'm not really. I've watched him. Chris Broad. If you're listening to this, honestly, mate, I've been your fan for 8 years. I've watched Chris Broad. Abroad in Japan is a great YouTube channel. He's really funny because he's a British guy and he moved to Japan. And it's just, I don't know, he's got really good humour and he's really good insight and does really good videos and great ideas and all sorts of things. And he's kind of influenced me in a way to be a content creator myself. So definitely Chris Broad. He's like one of my role models. Chris Broad, I want to get him on the podcast and interview him about Japan and his thoughts on Japan and stuff. I mean, I don't even really need to do that because he's made so many videos on Japan. But yeah, definitely Chris Broad. Those three people: Miyamoto, Mr. Beast, and Chris Broad from Abroad in Japan. I definitely think those are the sort of YouTubers, or those are the sort of three big people I'd have on the podcast. But I'd like to say, Elijah, if you had some say, who would you have on the podcast with us? If you got an idea.
I would bring, as a YouTuber called Insane in the Rain Music. His real name is Carlos Eni. He's a video game composer, and he's been doing arrangements of Nintendo music and other music for maybe 10, 11 years. I don't know, a long time.
Wow.
But I've been watching him for quite a while, and I even knew people who he went to college with. But I've seen him do a lot of interviews and podcast style interviews. I think he would be good. Not only does he love Nintendo, he plays the games, he knows stuff about it, but he's good to talk to. He seems like a really fun guy to talk to. See, I really like his personality. I think he's my favorite musician, so there's that as
Mm.
well. And I think he's just a general lovely guy who would be very good to have on the podcast for music
So
things and Nintendo things. Yeah,
his name's Carlos, you say?
yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, as I say, that'd be great if he came on the podcast. I say, I think because you said you knew people he went to college with. Have you ever had that special viewer moment where he's noticed you and spoken to you at all, or wrote you a message, or he's liked a comment?
Oh
You
yeah,
ever had?
I've been on his Discord server for a couple of years, and I've spoken to him quite a bit through that here and there. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's
I mean,
really
it's not
funny.
like I know the guy like personally, but
Yeah,
I've spoken to him before, and
same.
I
Yeah,
know people
yeah.
that he
Well, not
knows,
same, but yeah.
and like yeah, that's close enough. Yeah,
like, I've just spoken to him as well.
I studied him in college as well for one of my projects because you're usually when I was doing
Oh,
music in college, we were allowed to choose our own projects mainly, just kind of given direction. So I think I did like 3 in total on him in the end,
oh
and
wow.
yeah, he's always been a big inspiration for me.
Right, so yeah, I think that's a good idea. Good, let's get him on the podcast. We've got a
Mm.
list now. We've got a big list, but we can make it happen. Anything's possible. We need to get Mr. Beast on this podcast.
Totally possible, yeah.
Totally possible. And if Mr. Beast on this podcast, you know what, why not? Giles Gaming will shoot up to millions of. But anyway, yeah, I think it'll be they're quite high goals, but there's one guy that I'm actually serious about getting on the podcast. Out of those three, and that's
Mm.
got to be Chris Broad. I actually
Yeah,
want to get him on the podcast one day in the
yeah.
future, and I really do hope that's possible. And the day that happens, I'll stop podcasting. I won't do that. I don't know. It's just a goal, that you kind of set. I think all content creators do that. It's good to anyway to set like a fun goal to kind of reach. And when you've reached it, you can like celebrate it. And
Yeah.
for me, I want to have like my role model on the podcast, and that's Chris Broad. So I want to have him on the podcast, talk about Nintendo or something. I don't know, just for YouTubing and life. So yeah, that is my goal. That is my goal in life. So looking forward
Mm.
to that. And Chris, come on the podcast. So, so yeah, I mean, it's as I say. A side note, it is really nice. Back to what you were saying about Carlos, when you speak to other YouTubers, because I've had that thing sometimes where they notice your comment or that you like it. It's really encouraging. I find as a fellow YouTuber,
Yeah.
it's really hot. But recently, Chris Broad has a sister, and she's Emma Broad, and she does a YouTube channel I also follow called Always Away, and they've recently, they've over 9,000 subscribers, and they've done really good videos on like they've done traveling around the world basically, and they're very significant videos. Like they go in a van basically, and they stay in the van and they sleep in the van. They kind of camp, that sort of thing. It's called what's it called? Van camping. I don't know, camper vanning or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, she went to Japan and like they did a Q&A with Chris, and it was really fun. Like, I discovered her channel. I think 2-3 months ago, and I immediately subscribed and became a fan. I became a fan of her videos as well. And
Mm.
I think until recently, I actually DM'd each other, which is really quite funny. I was like, I think I promoted her channel on the Giles Gaming Podcast Instagram, saying definitely subscribe to these people. I really do like what they do. And she replied with a DM saying thank you very much. And I was like, oh wow, thank you, yeah, thank you for replying. I'm a fan. And we kind of had a small little mini discussion through DMs, me and
Yeah.
Chris Broad's sister Emma, about YouTubing and how it was how we started, and it really encourages me when that happens. When I speak to other YouTubers that are bigger than me, and they notice you and they give you a bit of help and advice, like it's really fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, it's been a smaller episode today, guys. But I think it's been fun, hasn't it, Elijah? We've had a small little discussion about various Nintendo topics.
Yeah. I mean, I think this episode is almost an hour long anyway, so that's
Yeah, it's
it's
1 hour.
it's not really a short episode. It's
It's not a
just a
short episode. No.
normal, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry if it felt rushed at all. I've literally
Tight
got
schedule.
got to leave in literally very soon. I've got a very tight schedule. My brain probably wasn't operating as well as it normally is. I'm not in the relaxed podcast mood. I just got to get it done sort of attitude today. So I kind of rushed through it. But don't worry about that, guys, because we've got a lot of things to look forward to. We've got the Nintendo Music Wars coming out tomorrow. So please go and check that out on this if you're watching on this channel or listening, wherever you are. stay tuned because tomorrow the first episode of Nintendo Music Wars releases tomorrow, and we are all excited about that, aren't we, Elijah? So
Indeed we are.
we all know who's going to win.
Of course we do.
Of course we do. So until then, guys, please send in your questions and comments to jrsgaming135@gmail.com. Please subscribe or follow us on whatever platform you're listening from and leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. This will help us out greatly and get the podcast around. Our socials will be in the description on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, website, and Discord. But until then, it's a goodbye from me.
And a goodbye from me.